And now, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
And we made it to November 20th. Good morning. And we're talking about the Hotel Paso Del Norte and the surrounding area of downtown El Paso. We're live on KTSM, AM 690 in El Paso, TV streaming live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. So it's also streaming live on the Facebook page, Remember in El Paso When. So, and this is a place we say, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Texas history begins in El Paso. Well, you know why we say that.
I'm a little step behind you.
Well, good morning, Melissa.
Yes.
Welcome back. You're
Welcome
here.
Back. Oh, yes. I'm here in my new knee. Say hi to my
new knee.
A new knee.
Well, welcome to your new knee. And it's good to see you there. You got where we're going on the radio?
Well, we were talking about streaming. We can also have people can also listen to streaming live on the internet via ktsmradio.com, which will link you into the iHeart radio system, which is our parent company. And there you can also listen to it. Well, not there, but you can listen to us anywhere there is internet in the countries or the world, I guess. So you'll never miss another show.
Got a history moment?
Yes, I do. And it's look back to El Paso's showplace of the Southwest.
Interesting stuff here. All right, today we got some interesting folks to talk to here. One of them is David Varela, concierge at the Hotel Paso Del Norte. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
Indeed.
Morning.
Welcome here. The other guy in the room here is Bernard Sargent. Good morning, senor.
Hi, I'm a little bit nervous. This is my first time.
It is indeed your
Today.
first time. Today. You've been here quite a bit as a major guest that we have on now and then.
Yeah, Major Sergeant, they would call me.
Thank you for showing up here. And David, as a concierge at the Paso, it's Hotel Paso Del Norte.
Hotel Paso
officially.
Del Norte, yes.
And it's an interesting thing that you do as a concierge. So I got to thinking it might be, we've talked about this hotel before, but it might be interesting also to hear your viewpoint on what you have as an insider, taking a look at from the viewpoint of the concierge. And we're also going to talk to you guys and all of us about the tour of the downtown area and discuss the other locations around the hotel because there's a lot going on there.
Yes, there's a ton going on downtown right now. And I think it's important for the city of El Paso to really to know and recognize profoundly that we are in a real gem of a place. This city is incredibly overlooked, and it's time that changes. And luckily, we are now at a turning point where the chapter of this city is changing to just that. We are becoming the destination, and our hotel, along with a lot of other hotels downtown, are part of that reason as well.
What do you see as a turning point?
So for so long, and I'll tell you, I used to work at another one of the hotels downtown at a time when downtown was still very dark and drab and barely coming up. You know, things were still boarded up, nothing was lit. So I started seeing El Paso going from, you know, we're just passing through, we've never seen the city, we've never been here, to we are coming here to vacation, which is something that I had never really thought of actually happening in this kind of short time between the 6-7 years that downtown has really had a boom.
Oh yeah.
Well, who are those people coming?
Well, you know, a lot of them come for business and they're discovering the city. A lot of them come because they have family here. Yeah, military, a lot of military,
medical.
Yeah, a lot of people who are now coming to downtown and realizing that there are things to do. There are beautiful things to see, and there are very significant things that have been incredibly overlooked and ignored for decades, if not longer.
I got to wonder how they hear about them. Bernie, what do you know about promotion here? Because I don't see the city or the county doing much promotion outside.
It's kind of an interesting foray. I know that the folks from Destination El Paso spend quite a bit of time promoting us in Mexico. They just had a trip down to Chihuahua City, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where they took a handful of people down there to, again, we're open for business promotion. And then they do some advertising in some of the magazines, the heritage magazines that I've been involved with the Texas Mountain Trail.
Do you ever see them do promoting our history?
They'll show a picture in an ad, but really it's been up to a handful of folks to do the promotion of the history. And
well, it would be great if people found us for the history, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, I know more and more. Like David, I met him some time ago, and he's become enthralled with the history, as many younger people have. And trust me, there's a lot of people in El Paso that are a lot younger than I am. So I'm really happy to see that.
So, David, how did you get interested in the history?
Well, to be completely frank with you, it was when I was at New Mexico State that I started realizing the lowbrow idea that people have of El Paso, which,
Just across the state line.
yeah, exactly. And I was just 40 miles up the street.
Now you're
And
from here, though, right?
I am from here. Yes, definitely. Grew up in Phoenix for a little, but have experienced most of my life here. And like a lot of people my age, younger and some older, I was part of that group that wanted to leave El Paso, that was looking to get out. And now I have become part of the group that is now coming back and returning.
Why'd you come back?
Well, I came back because of school mainly. However, once I was here, I realized that, there's a lot here that is very much gilded by the rest of Texas history sometimes. Things that the eastern part of the state will be recognized for,
Yeah.
but without realizing that this is one of the oldest, and I mean El Paso, Juarez, this whole region is one of the oldest established between Mexico City, Santa Fe, and even farther south.
Exactly.
So it's very, very significant. And it's about time that our community starts learning that, be proud of El Paso, be very, very proud, because this is a massive cradle of history, architecture, women's rights. I mean, there's so much history here for so many people who would not think that there is
Yeah.
history here
Well, also,
for them.
we say Texas history begins in El Paso, not just as a slogan.
No, that's right.
It's very true. And I think that sort of kind of upsets other people, so they kind of ignore us maybe at the other end of the state. Bernie, what have you heard about any of that?
Lots. Don't forget, we also were kind of a focal point for African American rights when Dr. Nixon was turned away
Yes.
from voting. So there's another tie, and in the Chinese
Utah.
American community.
At Texas Western, back in the day,
Mhm.
they were one of the first schools to integrate.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
But-
So we're a cradle for Black history, for Jewish history, Chinese history, women's history. It's
And Middle
phenomenal.
Eastern people. came-
Middle Eastern history, absolutely.
a lot of the Middle Eastern folks showed up on the train and they looked around and said, "This looks like home,"
Mhm.
from where they came, and wherever, Syria or whatever.
Minus the camels.
Yeah, maybe we had camels for a while.
Yeah, we did,
But
yeah.
but the thing is, that kind of history is dramatic, and I've heard it said by some people there should be a museum of history on every corner downtown to one group or another.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about just in one block downtown. We at one point had the largest Chinatown in Texas,
Oh yeah.
which, I mean, in its right, respectfully, means that we had one of the largest in the United States at its peak. So I find that a little, unfortunate that there are plaques there. However, there could be so much more recognition for those stories, for
Well-
Sergeant Flipper, Madam Flo, all of these people who came
Oh,
and
it-
changed
it's
El
an-
Paso's history.
It's an amazing flow of history. Back
Mhm.
Let's get back to the hotel, Hotel Paso Del Norte. Talk about how it began, and Henry Trost designed that, didn't he?
Yes, Henry Trost was our architect and designer. So the history of the hotel really begins in the 1890s when the Grand Central Hotel burns to the ground. Now,
What was that?
the Grand Central Hotel was a Victorian era hotel that opened on what is now the site of the Mills Building. Now, at the time, the Grand Central Hotel was the largest hotel in Texas. And again, one of those little facts that's always overlooked. Once it comes down to the ground, ideas for a new hotel begin. However, while these ideas are, being rendered and brainstormed, the Great San Francisco earthquake happens in 1906. So a lot of our architects, of the designer, everything that is part of the hotel's construction, these people went to San Francisco post-earthquake. They survey these buildings and realize what they're made of. And the strongest buildings are what they go off of. So our skeleton of the original structure, the 10 stories of the original hotel, are completely made of white sands gypsum. And, melted down and formed is an incredibly strong
material.
foundation. Yes, it's dozens of feet into the ground, 10 stories up, and the entire original structure is fire and earthquake proof.
Wow.
Yes. So it really is one of the great hotels of America that has, in a way, become forgotten in
Yeah.
history a little bit.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say a lot of times when you look at the history of a building, it's really cool, it's really neat, it's built. But
Mhm.
like you're bringing out that point, I had forgotten that I couldn't even remember the material, but the gypsum
Mhm.
from our white sands, right, is where it
That's
came
right.
from, and then they just mixed it with a slurry of concrete, or do you know?
So, to my knowledge, the actual gypsum was melted down,
Mhm.
and it forms,
formed.
an incredibly stronger than concrete or, granite sometimes. Yeah, so it's incredibly tough to the elements. As a matter of fact, when I'm sure it wasn't the first renovation, but a couple of renovations in, when they actually saw the foundation of the building, they realized it had not shifted at all. And this is, I believe, 70 years after the construction.
So it's well built, obviously.
Definitely, yeah. Her bones are old, but they are solid.
And that's go ahead. Hint.
Little sidebar piece of information too is initially there was a couple of architectural firms, one in San Francisco that did the Sir Francis Drake Hotel, and one in the East Coast that was very well known for the high-rise buildings that they were doing there. And they were considering those two and then optimally picked Trost and Trost to do the design. And it was a group called the El Paso Hotel Company. And the major investor in it was Zach White.
Talk about Zach White Freeman. You know much about him?
So the little that I do know is that he was here in El Paso, helped finance the hotel, and lived just up from downtown on North Mesa, actually. His house is still there. A lot of the designs on his house actually are on the hotel as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
His
so
very
Zach,
first-
talk about Zach.
Yeah, his very first home in El Paso in the 1880s was on Myrtle, and that's now where the federal building is. And then he then moved from that location to another one, then ultimately up to another address on Myrtle on the 700 block, and then had the house built that that David's referring to now. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. And I've got some numbers here. When Zach White came here, he had in his pocket or in his vest sewed in $10,000 cash, which is worth over $400,000 in today's value.
And so just don't leave your coat in the stagecoach.
Well, there was so much going on with it. He wanted to come to El Paso. He'd moved to, he only got through 10th grade in school, and actually didn't get that far, but his brother moved to San Antonio. So he followed him down there, and they put in the water system. And then he went from there up to Dallas, did the same thing. And then he started a water system in Waco, but he had aspirations of coming over here because he saw the potential.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, and he wanted to come over the fastest way he could. And he thought initially, well, I'll take the railroad, but they were running into problems with the Indians. So he got to Denver and changed his plans and went to California, and then came back on the Southern Pacific.
He was determined.
He was determined.
Zach White.
He had to ride the train like 30 miles south because at that time in 1881, the train hadn't quite got to El Paso.
And then they moved people to the town from stagecoaches or whatever.
Yeah, some of those Chinese folks that were working on the railroad.
We'll talk more about that kind of history. We're going to take a break here on the El Paso History Radio Show. And it's an interesting world here. Did you happen to look and see how many people had it was over 10,000?
It was over 10,000, 10,006. I want to say 10,600. I'm into the live page right now, so
Andrew,
I can't see that.
And we ask
It's
Andrew
over
once in a while.
10,000. I mean,
Andrew once in a while to comment. Andrew, what do you got going on in there?
Oh, we got a lot of people. In fact, we do have Marjorie Varela Benton saying Texas history does begin in El Paso, mentioning Isleta del Sur was the first settlement in Texas and the longest occupied settlement. A lot of people chiming in from across the country as we have, including Marque Flores, Monica Cervantes, Maria M. Barragan from West Valley City, Utah, and of course, Pueblo, Colorado with Angie Salazar amongst many others. Samuel Kilper Dolan also chiming in saying he loves downtown El Paso, great city with awesome people, totally overlooked and a real gem as your guest is describing it, and that in the offer of El Paso.
Indeed. That's Andrew J. Polk. He's running the board for us today. He is Monday through Friday, Talk El Paso, 4 to 5 p.m. right here on 690 a.m. We're going to take a break and come back in a bit. You want to throw the number out there, Melissa?
yeah, you can give us a call at 915-544-5876 or 915-544-KTSM.
Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina serves the old Griggs Mexican food recipes in a new location at 6761 Doniphan Drive. Enjoy great New Mexican food with cold beer and the Juan and only margarita from the cantina. The managers and cooks from the original Griggs restaurant serve tacos, combination plates, and sopapillas. Get the best Mexican food in the valley at Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina, 6761 Doniphan, near Loop 375. Call 877-2152.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
From MSNBC Films comes the story of visionary French artist J.R.
It's not only about the art, it's about the people. Art can go places, beyond laws, beyond rules, beyond borders. It's something that we the people own.
From Oscar-winning producers Brian Grazer and Ron Howard, the world television premiere of Paper and Glue. Friday, December 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC and in select theaters now.
Join Brian Birds of the Brian Birds Home Selling Team every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. for real estate tips with Brian. The best in El Paso when it comes to selling. Brian is an expert in real estate. Listen every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. on KTSM AM 690 for tips on buying or selling your home, info on what's going on in the market today, and much, much more. Real estate tips with Brian every Sunday morning at 7:30 on KTSM AM 690.
Right now, you can download the SiriusXM app and try it out free. Plug into over 350 channels, packed with ad-free music, plus comedy, news, talk, Howard Stern, live sports, and more. Create personalized Pandora stations and dive into the best collection of podcasts curated just for you. So download the SXM app now, try it out, and enjoy all the great entertainment we have to offer free.
News Radio 690 KTSM El Paso.
And now let's turn back the pages of time and return to the El Paso History Show. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, 6761 Donovan Drive. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. Here again, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
And you have found us on Facebook maybe, and that's the El Paso History Radio Show page there. Go there for our weekly promos. And you said over 10,000 people
over 10,000
had checked in on that. That's interesting. And so each week we'll put up topics there. We also have a TV channel that's on El Paso History on YouTube, El Paso History TV on YouTube. So you go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV. And El Paso Gold DVDs I produced for the last 20 years, a dozen of them are now online for free. So if you really want to learn something about El Paso history and you got time after the show, take a look at that, youtube.com/El Paso History TV. Also, Bernie and I put together, he's the guy, you're the face.
The face.
You're the face in the hat. But Andrew and I produced those and wrote those and put them on ABC7, and they're El Paso History TV. It's a playlist you can get on there, youtube.com/El Paso History TV. And there's 20 of them that aired in the newscast on ABC7. So that was kind of a neat thing to do. A lot of comments going on there all the time. And now you have a comment or something about Keystone.
Oh, Keystone. Well, everything's going really great with us over there, and we're offering even more events now. And we have the Mystic Market at Keystone. That's going to be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and that's tonight. And they're going to have vendors, music, and fun for the whole family. And you can do some shopping and such, maybe get some early Christmas gifts. Then in December, the Luminarias by the Lake returns for 2 nights only, and that's Friday, December 3rd, and Saturday, December 4th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. If you want to know more about that, you can go to our website, which is KeystoneHeritagePark.com, or our Facebook page, and you can buy your tickets to go to Luminarias in advance. And such.
Generally, we're talking about the Paso Del Norte Hotel as a focus for the middle of downtown and the history around it. And Andy, you got a couple of photos of the exterior that will be interesting just to show people what we have there. It's a beautiful hotel. And on the left there, David, David Varela is here with us. He's the concierge there. That's the old section, yeah?
Correct. Yes, you can tell the old from the new section because although the brick is still red, the color of Chicago buff brick is incredibly dark, and it stays the same color.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal.
it doesn't fade out like the others.
Correct. Exactly.
And the other on the right there is the newer part that was added when
1980. Well, I'm assuming beginning 85, finished 86, since the West End El Paso del Norte opened in 86.
So we'll get to who the owners are and were. It's an interesting group of business people who have come and gone there. We're starting with Zach White, as we mentioned earlier. And Zach, we were talking about Zach White. Zach White, he was an interesting guy. And you said he had money in his coat when he came to El Paso.
Yeah.
But he showed up, invested in all kinds of places.
He did.
And what else did he do?
Well, he was a principal owner of the gas and electric company, as well as an alderman at the same time. And he managed to coerce the city into changing from gas lamps to electric lamps, because he owned both, but it was more profitable in electricity, and very influential in the sewage line. In fact, he traveled to Kansas City when there was a downturn in the cost of shipping, and timed it perfectly and bought all the sewage pipes, tons of pipes there, and had them shipped to El Paso so that they could establish the first actual functioning sewage line.
So he was one of those new businessmen, who showed up and did a lot of things in El Paso and used the railroads consistently to bring things in, because up to 1881 we had no railroads, but 1881 turned on a whole lot of progress in El Paso. Interesting stuff there. So by 1912 they put together this hotel, and what else can we say about Zach White? He was an interesting guy. There's a school named after him. He owned a lot of the Upper Valley at one point, and all the land.
He did, and he donated the land that the El Paso Country Club sits on. That's the second El Paso Country Club. The first one was on the east side of the mountain.
And the school there is the Zach White School. It's right there on Donovan near Sunset,
where they park the buses and they have their audio-visual labs.
Yeah.
So Zach White was instrumental in the history of El Paso, one being this hotel. And the hotel being what it is. Talk more about some of the history of the hotel itself, David Varela. And if you don't mind, tell us what you can about more of the early history.
Of course. So the site in which the hotel sits now was at one point the Happy Hour Saloon, and a lot of very, very famous names have gone through there as well. Now, after that is razed completely, expansions on some of the streets around the hotel begin, and the breaking of the hotel begins in 1911. The renderings were started in 1910, late 1910, and then groundbreaking in 1911.
And the streets were laid out by Anson Mills. Was that through there as well?
Yeah.
And so that's why things sort of make sense there. And El Paso Street, coming straight up from Juarez, used to go continually straight up, but then across the little side street there, the Trost Avenue, I think it is.
Correct. So Henry Trost is what used to be Sheldon. Previously from that, it was San Francisco Street. And San Francisco, previous to the convention center being built, the stadium, all of that, ran straight into Sunset Heights. So it was one big, large avenue.
San Francisco, I thought it went west.
So San Francisco starts behind the hotel, in between what's now the Art Museum and the hotel, and would run center, and then through the back to what is now the San Francisco district.
Oh, they curved it.
Correct. So right in the middle ended up the stadium and the convention center and all of that.
Look at the overlay of history on all that part of downtown. It's amazing.
It really is, yes.
And so let's get to any other thoughts, Bernie?
Well, I mentioned the El Paso Country Club. He also donated the land where the Boy Scout camp is now. It was formerly the Girl Scout camp. That was donated also for the young ladies to use. Now, ultimately, with the help of a number of investors, we're updating that to a Boy Scout camp, and just a beautiful location. And he pretty much dedicated his senior years of life to his investments on the west side, the big land that he owned out there, and developing that.
Interesting guy, Zach White, we're talking. And he was the guy who put that hotel on the map, and Hotel Paso Del Norte. Talking more about that in a minute, taking a break here. And what do you see, either you or Andrew on?
Well, I was looking through, I've got some, Samuel Dolan, we've been kind of going back and forth because he just finished literally writing. He's putting his photographs and everything together for his newer book. And so I'd like to get in touch with him about that, because it's about, I've got to talk to him more about it, but I believe it's from part of this area, which I think would be great. He does a great job.
He seems to like a lot of El Paso old crime history and stuff.
And he's in Montana?
Somewhere
Montana,
over there.
Wyoming? Oh,
Arizona, Montana. They all look alike.
He lives up there.
Andrew, what do you got? Anything new?
Well, we also did have Barbara Given Bainey of the Remember in El Paso When page chiming in that Zach White had 20 siblings and also had a kiln that was known for brick stamps with the date 1882 on it, and also welcoming back Melissa there. And we also did have a picture of part of the construction of the original portion of the Paso Del Norte Hotel that was she put up on that page there. We'll have a couple more coming up a little bit later in the hour as well.
Take a look at some more of those. Those are interesting history pictures, because we just have some basic pictures of the current hotel. And what else you got? You got another one there?
Yep.
There it is. And what is that? Oh, that's the Tiffany like. That's not really Tiffany.
Tiffany
though.
style.
Tiffany
would be the best
style
way to
dome.
say, yeah.
So that hotel has got a bunch of El Paso history stuck in it. That's great stuff. All right, taking a break here on the El Paso History Radio Show. Back in just a moment.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549. El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso.
In honor of Veterans Day, iHeartMedia presents Veterans You Should Know, a podcast featuring the men and women of our armed forces. Join actor and Marine Corps veteran Rob Riggle as he speaks with fellow vets about their experiences at home and abroad.
And I remember thinking, what are the chances an IED's been here so long that grass has grown on top of it? And that's exactly what happened. There was a pressure plate buried underneath where grass had grown over, and that's the one I stepped on.
Listen to Veterans You Should Know on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
This holiday season, don't buy the can, buy the box to help support those in need in our community. As your organization considers giving back, do the most good by donating directly to your local El Pasoans Fighting Hunger Food Bank. $1 means 7 meals to help end hunger for our neighbors and children in the community, and a few thousand can provide for a classroom for a whole year. And iHeartRadio El Paso is partnering to recognize your generosity. Contact Walter at iHeartRadio today at 915-351-5473 for more information.
Hey, El Paso, Ivan Ochoa, General Manager from Sunland Park, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. I love the holidays. It's a time to be thankful for life and all its blessings. I'm thankful for you, our customers, and your families. As a gesture of gratitude, we're offering 0%, zero down on select new vehicles and no payments till February 2022.
The Black Friday sales event starts now at Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. For a limited time, get 0 APR for 84 months, 0 down, and make no payments till February 2022. Upside down in your trade, we want it. Even if you owe up to $10,000 more than your car is worth. Plus, save thousands at the all-new Sunland Park Dodge Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter on every vehicle in stock, with more arriving daily. All military personnel and all first responders receive an additional discount. Thank you for your service. Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, or buy the car is fun at I-10 at Sunland Park Drive or online at sunlandparkdodge.com. Estamos en tu esquina El Paso Strong. Includes factory rebate and dealer discount plus TTNL. 0 APR is 11.90 per thousand finance. On select vehicles with approved credit. Offers not combined.
There's no place like home for the holidays, except when you're stuck sleeping on the pull-out couch in the basement. This year, I'm resting my head at Red Roof in my own comfortable, affordable, and clean space. You know, you can save up to 20% this holiday season at Red Roof locations. Plus, pets stay free at Red Roof, so Fluffy can come along for the holiday fun. This holiday season, book your own space at redroof.com and save up to 20%.
The weather is chilly, but it's not officially fall until you button up a soft and cozy flannel from Untuckit. They're perfect for keeping warm and in style this season. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so you'll look sharp and stay comfortable all day long. The wrinkle-free and performance shirts are great for work and the weekend. Just layer a super soft sweater on top for more dressed-up occasions. So update your closet this fall at untuckit.com or at 80-plus stores. Use code COZY for 20% off your first order. Untuckit shirts, designed to be worn untucked.
Did you know that you might be overpaying for your prescriptions? It's okay, because there's an easy, convenient solution. Check GoodRx. GoodRx lets you compare prices at different pharmacies and shows you where to get the lowest price. Here's Joe, a doctor and GoodRx customer.
I was able to look up some medicines that I was going to get, and it saved me a good amount of money.
GoodRx is helping millions of people, and it can help you too. For simple, smart savings, check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance. In 2020, GoodRx users saved an average of 79% off retail prices. Individual compensated for their time. Visit goodrx.com/radio to learn more.
Dive into the stock market with 21-year-old millionaire Hugh Henney and Dan, the deity of dips, on the podcast Pennies Going In Raw. From volume and price targets to reverse splits, accumulation, and more. The serious business of trading strategies and financial freedom has never been more fun.
This is life advice. You need to build up your confidence, and it's the same thing with trading. Your first time, it's going to be a little ugly.
Listen to Pennies Going In Raw on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
El Paso's News Radio 690 KTSM.
And now let's turn back the pages of time and return to the El Paso History Show. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, 6761 Donovan Drive. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. Here again, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
We are here, we are live, and we're talking about all kinds of stuff about the Hotel Paso Del Norte and the surrounding area and the history of people who are connected to it. We've got a whole lot more people to come here. And I want to let you know to check out the Celebration of Our Mountains. And you go to celebrationofourmountains.org. And the Rio Bosque Wetlands Tour for tomorrow begins 8 a.m. And then Aden Crater, Prehistoric Trackways, Rosarito Mountains, just north of Las Cruces, and a bunch of hikes to plane crashes. So War Eagles Museum on December 16th. That's going to cap off the 2022 events. Again, visit celebrationofourmountains.org. Interesting crowd there. What do you got?
Well, Pepe's Restaurant, which is home of the one and only margarita, wants to remind everyone that the holidays are here. And if you're looking to cater a small affair or a large party, then you need to contact Lorena or Pepe's at 915-877-2152 for your holiday party. And they're located at 6761 Donovan Drive. Also, if you're looking for a company to manage your rental or investment properties, then you need to talk with Monterey Asset Management at 915-592-4549, or their website is m1ep.com. Also, you could be looking right now with the market the way it is, looking to sell, buy, or rent a home, then you can contact Patrick Tuttle, a top producing realtor with Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate. Give Patrick a call today at 915-588-1850.
In the house here, we got David Varela, concierge. Say, wave at him, David. We see you over here looking at him. There you are. And then Bernie Sargent talking about the history around downtown El Paso. And Jackson and Melissa rounds out the studio crew here. We had another couple of pictures Barbara Given Bainey just sent us, Andrew. Throw those up if you would. And then describe what you're seeing there, Andrew.
So this is a great picture of the actual construction of the Paso del Norte Hotel. She gave us that it's from the El Paso Historical Society as well, and sourced from the page, Remember in El Paso, when of the exterior during its construction. You can see the workers in the scaffolding there. She also sent another one along right now that shows a little bit closer up at the bottom of it. And more specifically, it's of Zach White and Trost are supposedly both in that picture there.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, I see him lower right there. And so if you're listening on radio, we do have this streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And so you can go back and actually take a look at these after the fact if you're just on radio only. David Varela, we got a lot of history going on here. Zach White being part of it. Let's maybe now begin to take a look at the floors of the hotel. Start with the main entrance. Right now, it's on basically the north side of the building. Where was it originally?
So the original entrance was on San Antonio Street. The main entrance where you lead into what is the Dome area now.
That's where, what is that? San Antonio Street.
Correct.
Comes
yes.
right intersecting there.
Correct. San Antonio Street and El Paso Street. And then the side entrance, which is now facing San Antonio Street, is the El Paso Street entrance. So those are the original two entrances for the hotel. And after 1986, what is originally the front becomes the Dome Bar, and the back, where a theater, a drugstore, if anyone remembers the Capri Theater, the old Grand Hotel, I think it was called, an 1880s hotel.
They're all jammed right in there.
They're all jammed right
Yeah,
in there.
really.
Those 4 parcels, they're
Yeah.
raised, and then the subterranean parking construction begins. The reinforcement base of the tower begins, and so begins the story for a little while of the Westin Paso del Norte.
So if you knew El Paso way back when and you showed up and looking for the Capri, it's dust.
It's actually a fountain is there now.
Oh, right
So,
where
yeah,
that was.
the main roundabout fountain. Yeah, so you'd never be able to tell that those buildings were at one point there.
All right,
So
go ahead.
oh no, I was just going to mention that. So after that, that's the new entrance from 86 and on, and so they have the roundabout, the fountains, and the new lobby.
All right, we have some questions coming in on the telephone. We have a guy named David. David on the radio. Here you are, David. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up?
On the top level of the parking garage, there used to be a photograph of an automobile, 1928 or 29, and that photograph has been moved up to kind of a common area, and I'm not sure what floor that's on, maybe 6, 7, or 8.
So
And that photograph, go ahead.
oh no, I believe the photo that you're talking about is when the hotel's lobby had an actual Model T style car in there, and that photograph still does exist.
Oh, no, heck no, that was nothing like a Model T. That car was and is an Auburn Ford
an Auburn.
Duesenberg.
Oh,
And
not one of the
that car in
Cords.
1928 or 29 was a medium-priced car, but a high-quality car. And in that era, starting at the very early of automotive production, it was not unusual to put automobiles in hotels to attract sales. So whether it was just the local Auburn dealer that had that car in there, or whether it was some sort of auto show, I don't know. But it's a very interesting photograph, and it shows the hotel lobby, or I think it may even be under the dome ceiling.
Yes. So the photograph that you're talking about,
picture up there.
you're 110% right. And we do still have that photograph. It does exist. And it is a very, very beautiful photo of even the old hotel
Yeah, it's
before
like
the
I
reconstruction.
say, whatever that floor is that you go up, and there's kind of a common area for business people to meet in.
The mezzanine.
On second floor?
Let me get my direction.
The mezzanine,
northeast
probably.
corner.
It's the mezzanine, right?
Yeah, and there's coffee in there and so forth.
Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you for ringing up and talking about that. Appreciate it.
Also, I'd like to mention, I've never been able to find pictures of San Francisco Street over by the railroad station. And that had to have been, the center of town, because everybody came into town on the railroad. There were no major roads, and of course, no airport. But the alley behind San Francisco, between it and going over to San Antonio, there was actually a rail line that ran through there for warehousing. And then the next street over, which is Western Street, there was a rail line that ran through there for boxcars to unload into those warehouses.
David, wouldn't it be great
So,
great to have an overlay of that kind of history? You could take a look at it and just poke on it. But right now, it is so gone. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I've looked for photographs of that area, which had to have been just prime area.
You might try.
And, I've never been able to find it.
You might try UTEP Special Collections. They got more photos than you can imagine up there. Give them a shot. Thanks.
I have not tried them. I tried the El Paso Library, of course, and the El Paso History Museum, but UTEP I never thought of. Thank you.
Give them a shot. They're on the 6th floor of the library. Thanks for ringing up. We're going to move
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks a lot. You take care. Interesting history that evokes out of people's memories and stuff there. And also, Andrew, you had put up a question from Harry.
We have Harry Von Filich chiming in from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Big question he had is whether the hotel kept records of guests from the 1910s, and if not, is there anywhere they could be found?
We might as well dive into that. What do you got, David?
Well, to be frank with you, to my understanding, aside from our Wall of Fame, which begins in 1912 and ends around 2015.
And we have a shot of that somewhere, yeah.
Yes, definitely. There, to my understanding, was also a very large registry book
Oh, wow.
that was signed And some of our more notable names are in that book.
Who's got the book?
Now, the book is speculated to have gone when the hotel closed. And some people have actually told me that it was gone long before it was turned into a Camino Real. So I, to be frank with you, do not know the whereabouts of it. I do know, however, that there was a book.
I've heard about this.
Maybe somebody in the audience knows.
Well, he had Elvis Presley in there, and all kinds of people, as I understand it.
I'm assuming definitely, Eva Gabor, Amelia Earhart, Julia Child, the bigger names, yeah.
Can you imagine a book like that?
And I know what Harry's looking for too. He's looking for more records on the Germans that may have stayed there, or the people that were principal players in the Mexican Revolution. So I'm sure that's why he's looking.
The book did exist, Harry, but we don't know where to find it. So if you find it in your archive searching, please let us know.
There's somebody out there in the audience. You never know. It's one of those things. Like you said, it might turn up in somebody's attic.
And so many of the things that I have learned, I will tell you, have been from the absolutely wonderful people that have come in, seen the hotel, have been guests, used to work there when it was the original Paso del Norte, the Westin, a short time when it was a Hilton, and then the Camino. And, so many people's lives are attached to this building. It's unbelievable.
And the Hotel Paso del Norte is now owned by the Myers Group?
Yes.
But are they an affiliate hotel?
To be frank, I'm not completely sure.
Oh, okay.
But you had mentioned there's a couple of names in there. What was the other one? You had there was a Marriott, and anyway, so it's an interesting history that you got.
Yeah, it was at one point a Westin, and then it became for a very short time, very short time, a Hilton. There's actually a painting inside the museum, the International Art Museum, in the basement floor. Very beautiful painting, drawn from the perspective of the Civic Center, where you see the tower, not the facade of the original building, and on the very top it says Hilton. For a very small time,
Interesting
very short
stuff
time.
there. All right, we need to take a break here on the El Paso History Radio Show. Ready for a break here, Andrew? All right, taking a break here. Come back in a minute.
Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina serves the old Griggs Mexican food recipes in a new location at 6761 Donovan Drive. Enjoy great New Mexican food with cold beer and the Juan and only margarita from the Cantina. The managers and cooks from the original Griggs restaurant serve tacos, combination plates, and sopapillas. Get the best Mexican food in the valley at Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina, 6761 Donovan, near Loop 375. Call 877-2152.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
One-on-one with Susan Eisen.
Setting my very first diamond 30 years ago in my garage late at night took me 5 hours to do. Since then, our priority is the quality of our work.
When it comes to the highest quality control standards, visit SusanEisen.com. One-on-one with Susan Eisen.
Every diamond in our store is personally selected and graded by me to ensure you're getting more value than what you are paying for. That sets us apart.
When it comes to expert advice on diamonds, visit SusanEisen.com.
Wendy's knows a better breakfast starts with a better biscuit. That's why you can get a hot and buttery Wendy's breakfast biscuit with bacon or sausage, fresh cracked egg, and cheese for just $1. Get your Wendy's Buck Biscuit sandwich today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Talk El Paso is going daily. Join host Andrew J. Polk weekdays at 4 with the Borderlands' only live local talk radio show, breaking down the impact of the news and taking your calls. That's Talk El Paso, live Monday through Friday at 4, right here on News Radio 690 KTSM.
Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are also available. To find out on how you can affordably reach an affluent and highly educated demographic, please call iHeartMedia at 915-351-5473. That's 915-351-5473.
If you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
for everyone here. We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies us. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
News Radio 690 KTSM.
And now let's turn back the pages of time and return to the El Paso History Show. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, 6761 Donovan Drive. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. Here again, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
A lot going on in El Paso to promote the city, various directions here. We got Rick Kern's music podcast, Talkin' Rock Radio. Go to talkinrockradio.com. Last week, we had a great conversation with Terry Manning, a major musician and recording artist and recording engineer. And that was a fabulous conversation we had last week. And so the thing about what we do here, people want to know, am I an historian? No, I am not really an historian like a lot of the folks in the room here. I am more a producer. I see something I want to hear about, and I bring in the historians. And here we have
historical enthusiasts.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of people sitting here, and you've got some. You have an announcement.
Yes, I do. We want to, of course, remind everybody to visit our sponsors when you get a chance. Mission Del Rey, they've got a special going on, 15% off on all in-store and online purchases now through Christmas. And the coupon code to use at checkout is El Paso Gifts, all one word. Mention it when you check out with all your items, and you will be given, they'll credit that right there at the checkout. And the store is really well stocked right now, so it is a good time for people to shop early. They have a lot of things that are not available online. And right now, they've got a great selection of beautiful Christmas-themed Mexican Talavera pottery, and it's already at sale prices that everybody loves. That's Mission Del Rey, and you can also visit their 12,000 square foot showroom, which is just amazing. And they're just off of Lee Trevino. Their phone number is 915-440-2140, or go online to missiondelrey.com. And we were talking about how many people had checked in on the hotel. It was 10,781 people on our Facebook page for this.
And again, we're talking about the Hotel Paso Del Norte and the surrounding area, the people involved in all kinds of things. And David Varela is sitting here, and Bernie's with us as always, always. Anyway, whatever you are.
We're off always.
We also, we have a decoration on the first floor that you sent me a picture of, the bird cage.
Yes.
Lighting.
So one of the beautiful, many fantastical, if you will, stories of the hotel. Similar to the stories of the murals at the Plaza Hotel in New York City, our hotel goes with a story that has been told by old staff about the 3 original old golden brass looking chandeliers that are said to have at one point hung inside what is now the 1700 Degrees Steakhouse. So where the 3 chandeliers are there now were at one point those aviary style cages. And there's a reason that they look like aviaries, because it is said that at one point they were. And that documentation used to, apparently, it is true. Whether or not it's these exact ones, I cannot say, but the story is definitely true. Yes, the style and the actual documentation of it as well. So allegedly canaries and parrots.
Talk about that steakhouse. You said 1700. What does that mean?
Yes. So 1700 Degrees Steakhouse is our new steakhouse. What used to be the old Dome Grill, right next to the Dome.
1700 degree?
Correct. Degrees. So that is actually the temperature that our ovens cook everything at. So it's phenomenal. I can tell you personally, as I was the maitre d' there, I helped open it. The staff is phenomenal. The chefs are incredible. The ambiance of the restaurant itself, I mean, you really get a sense of being somewhere just absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Yes.
So what does that do to the steaks?
So to my understanding, it gives them the most gorgeous sear you've ever seen in your life. And I assure you, I have veterans of 25 years of Delmonico's tell me that this is better.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
You ready for one, Bernie?
Well, I've already eaten there.
How was it?
Yeah, that's right.
They for the grand opening. Oh, they were great. I think they use a sous vide process. And so they cure the inside of the meat, and all I have to do is sear it to keep the juices in. And this takes a matter of a couple of minutes, and it's ready to eat. Unbelievable.
What time's lunch? We need to get down there.
I know. I tell you, it
Sorry, Pepe.
was cool when it opened. We went to the opening because that was one of the first places we went to for a fancy dinner in El Paso is when we were when you were transferred here for the Maquila. And
but that was way back when.
That was in '87.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool because I always thought it was the greatest place. It was the fanciest place. Then it kind of went downhill after that. And then it disappeared. And I always thought, oh, it was such a cool place. And so it was nice to be back there. Good
Yes, I mean,
memories.
it's incredibly, it's reinvigorated, if you will. The walls, the art, the chandeliers, everything is so beautifully cleaned up and redone. It's phenomenal.
The Hotel Paso Del Norte.
Yes.
And we'll get to it maybe next hour. We're about to run out of time on this hour. We'll get to next hour and what where that came from, because we all know where that came from, but a lot of people don't get that. And so what's the name of that hotel? So anyway, did you have one more picture there, Andrew? The second one of the what is that second one there? Yeah, what is this?
Of the dining room. So that is our beautiful dining room. And again, redone into a style that is early 1900s cattleman style, because this is one of the last great cattleman hotels of America.
We'll have to talk about that as well.
Definitely. So it's done very, very tediously. So you will not confuse our colors, our metals, the woods, the studding that we use with something out of Tucson or Santa Fe. This is very much us, El Paso.
It has always had its own style, and has always been its own hotel, and it has come and gone. And back in the day, they removed a bunch of that stuff and sold it off. And apparently the crowd now has put it back together. So the current owner, interesting stuff. David Varela and Bernie Sargent, Melissa and I are sitting here. We're going to take a break here and come back after the news. Should we do that?
Yeah, I didn't realize an hour had passed.
There it is.
Flying right along
It's
here.
come and gone here. See you all after the news on the El Paso History Radio Show.
Thank you for listening to the El Paso History Show. There's another hour to go, so please stay tuned. This hour is brought to you by Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, home of the one and only margarita. By Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino, with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. We'll be right back after the news, right here on News Radio 690 KTSM El Paso.
Hey El Paso, Ivan Ochoa, General Manager from Sunland Park, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. I love the holidays. It's a time to be thankful for life and all its blessings. I'm thankful for you, our customers, and your families. As a gesture of gratitude, we're offering 0%, zero down on select new vehicles and no payments till February 2022.
The Black Friday sales event starts now at Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. For a limited time, get 0 APR for 84 months, 0 down, and make no payments till February 2022. Upside down in your trade, we want it. Even if you owe up to $10,000 more than your car is worth. Plus, save thousands at the all-new Sunland Park Dodge Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter on every vehicle in stock, with more arriving daily. All military personnel and all first responders receive an additional discount. Thank you for your service. Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, where buying a car is fun. At I-10 and Sunland Park Drive or online at sunlandparkdodge.com. Estamos en tu esquina, El Paso Strong. Includes factory rebate and dealer discount plus TTNL. 0 APR is 11.90 per thousand finance. On select vehicles with approved credit. Offers not combined.
From MSNBC Films comes the story of visionary French artist J.R.
It's not only about the art, it's about the people. Art can go places, beyond laws, beyond rules, beyond borders. It's something that we the people own.
From Oscar-winning producers Brian Grazer and Ron Howard, the world television premiere of Paper and Glue, Friday, December 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC and in select theaters now.
I love the holidays, but I don't love being roommates with my siblings again. That's why I skip all the screaming matches and stay at Red Roof, so I can truly celebrate and relax in my own comfortable, clean, affordable room. Pets stay free at Red Roof, so I can bring Fido and decompress after a long day of small talk with the family without breaking the bank. And this season, you can get up to 20% off. Book your own space at redroof.com.
NBC News Radio, I'm Julie Ryan. The head of the CDC is endorsing the use of COVID-19 vaccine boosters for all adults.
Dr. Rochelle Walensky signed off on the move shortly after the CDC's vaccine advisors gave their thumbs up on Pfizer and Moderna booster shots. The additional doses are now available for all adults 6 months after they completed their first vaccinations. The focus is now on the Senate after the House passed a $1.7 trillion social spending bill. Talking with reporters Friday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the bill monumental. The massive spending package is expected to undergo major changes when it reaches the Senate, where it faces an uphill battle. Former President Trump is standing behind Kyle Rittenhouse after he was acquitted of all the charges against him. Trump told Fox News he thought it was a great decision.
I was surprised it had to go this far. Somebody should have ended it earlier, and frankly, the case should have never been brought. It was prosecutorial misconduct, in my opinion, and there's plenty of it going on in this country right now.
Rittenhouse was on trial for killing 2 men and injuring a third during social justice protests in Wisconsin last year, but maintained he did so in self-defense. It took the jury more than 3 days to reach the unanimous decision. Rain and wind may cause travel delays at the start of this Thanksgiving holiday week. Stormy weather is expected to drench the Midwest and later the upper Northeast with heavy rain and high winds beginning Sunday. The conditions could cause air travel delays just as thousands of people across the country head out of town for Thanksgiving. U.S. Disney parks are including a Black Santa Claus this year for the first time ever. Both Disneyland in California and Walt Disney World in Florida have included a Black Santa in both meet and greets and after-hours Christmas parties. A Disney spokesperson told CNN Santa is represented differently in local and regional communities around the world, and the diversity will be reflected at both parks. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
After a couple of unseasonably cool days, we'll start to see a slight warm-up as we head into the first half of the weekend. We'll talk about a warmer start to the weekend, plus some tracking changes to the weather as we get closer to the Thanksgiving holiday. From the KBOX 14 Severe Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kira Miner.
Don't miss our iHeartRadio Holiday Special with exclusive performances from Kelly Clarkson, Michael Bublé, Train, and Pentatonics. Wednesday the 24th, starting at 7 p.m. Watch on iHeartRadio's Facebook and YouTube channel. Plus, check out the exclusive VR performance in the Venues app on Oculus Quest.
New holiday gifts are arriving at a TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods store near you for way less than you expect. Endless selection, great prices, all season long. Shop TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods today.
Sometimes love can be deadly. The Crazy in Love podcast digs into real-life stories of relationships that took a gruesome turn. Each week, explore a new case about murder in the name of love.
She was obsessed. She was a stalker. She wouldn't take no for an answer.
Overkill is an outward manifestation, the highest level of anger a human being can actually achieve.
Listen to Crazy in Love on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
Have you thought about getting dental implants? Has someone told you that implants cost $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a tooth? Here's something much better to think about. Affordable dental implants from 1995implants.com. The El Paso Dental Office, where beautiful, top-quality, long-lasting dental implants are as low as $1,995 per tooth. That price includes the implant, abutment, and crown, which many other places charge extra for. At 1995implants.com, we also offer a free consultation, free standard x-rays, and convenient financing. 1995implants.com. You're going to love your new smile, and your friends and family will be telling you how great you look. Best of all, your dental implants are very affordable if you come to 1995implants.com. For more information, see our website, 1995implants.com. That's 1995implants.com. Se habla español.
Join Brian Birds of the Brian Birds Home Selling Team every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. for real estate tips with Brian. The best in El Paso when it comes to selling. Brian is an expert in real estate. Listen every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. on KTSM AM 690 for tips on buying or selling your home, info on what's going on in the market today, and much, much more. Real estate tips with Brian every Sunday morning at 7:30 on KTSM AM 690.
Are you covered by Medicare and Medicaid? Well, El Paso Health Plus is the plan for you. As a local Medicare Advantage plan, we can offer our members more. Call us at 833-742-3125 or EPHmedicare.com. El Paso Health Plus.
News Radio 690 KTSM El Paso.
News Radio 690 KTSM presents the second hour of the El Paso History Show with documentary filmmaker Jackson Polk and historian Melissa Sargent, streaming live at ktsmradio.com. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. By Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, home of the one and only margarita. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino, with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. And now, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
It's hour 2 of the El Paso History Radio Show, and as often and always, we have an El Paso History Moment produced by Melissa Sargent for the El Paso History Alliance page. And her story today is about, oddly enough, what a coincidence, the Paso...
that place, Hotel Paso Del Norte.
You call it the Paso Del Norte.
I know, because I mess it up.
Here it comes.
El Paso's showplace of the West. Zach White dreamed of building an elegant hotel that would be the center of social life and a gathering place for tourists in the heart of El Paso. White hired architects Trost and Trost, and together they studied the structures in San Francisco which withstood the great earthquake of 1906. They designed a brick, steel, and terracotta building with interior walls made of gypsum from nearby white sands that was not only structurally sound, but was also fireproof. Built at a cost of $1.5 million, White always referred to it as his dream hotel, and no detail was spared in its construction. Black serpentine marble installed by Italian artisans graced the lobby, mezzanine, and dining rooms, and all woodwork was solid mahogany. 12 gold leaf cages with live parakeets adorned the pillars in the main dining area, and Tiffany-style glass dome crowned the lobby. The Hotel Paso Del Norte, so named by White, opened Thanksgiving Day in 1912 with a lavish ball, and it was dubbed the Showplace of the West. More history next week on El Paso History Moments. I'm Melissa Sargent for the El Paso History Alliance.
And you do this for the Alliance all the time.
Yeah, they've got a great program going here. And we want people to learn even more about great history and information and stories about El Paso area. You can visit these two Facebook pages. The El Paso History Alliance is a group of historians who promote the architectural history and culture of El Paso and is managed by Max Grossman and Mark Stone. And then there's Remember in El Paso When, with thousands of pictures, stories, and much more. It is managed by Barbara Given-Bainey and her team of volunteer editors for the page.
Yeah, she's a chief admin. Margaret Smith, Rick Duncan, Ken Weiss, Craig Hayes, Rick Nakara, and Isaac Williams is also on there. And also, Barbara had put on Remember in El Paso When a rundown by Margaret Smith, talking about she's a great niece of Henry Trost, so she takes a look at a lot of the Trost buildings. Let's talk about that real quick. Zach White, in 1912, he went to Chicago. He set up several contracts for the interior decor, furnishings, and fittings for the Hotel Paso del Norte. The fixtures, including furniture, draperies, estimated cost more than $100,000 back then. That was big money. And Mr. White hired Mitchell and Hallback of Chicago, who also did the Sheldon Hotel, to design the interior of the hotel. And the lobby dining room were decorated in Egyptian furnishings to match the decor. Graham Silver Company supplied the silver for the dining room. Another $10,000 there back in the day. That was a lot of money. And it's interesting. She goes on and on about how many kind of interesting, expensive things that they bought back then, and special furniture for the presidential suite on the mezzanine back then.
Correct.
That's where it was, huh?
It was. So way back when, and particularly this hotel, like a lot of hotels built post 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, this hotel had the larger rooms on the lower floors. The second floor, where the mezzanine is now in our executive offices, used to be the master suite. People were afraid of staying in high-story buildings way back when, so they just wanted, if anything happened, to get down and get out.
Oh, I see. So fire. Yeah, okay. Well, item goes on, and Remember El Paso When today posted, a 1980s bargain hunters sale was conducted at the hotel as they were shifting the hotel ownership back then, I think. Chairs, mirrors, carpets, pictures, wine glasses, bedspreads that had seen 70 years of life and history went up for sale. And people probably have those in their houses. You got some in your house, Melissa?
Probably. Who knows? In my house, if you've been there, you
never know.
Could be anything in there.
But 500 people showed up to purchase items from the historical hotel. people pick through dishes, ashtrays, blankets, sheets, silverware, marble top tables, and on and on and on. And it's an interesting thing here. That's one thing that just happens in El Paso, I guess. They turn it around, turn it off, and now it's been restored back to elegance with where'd they get all the stuff that's in there now, David?
So from different purveyors, our sheets are from France, our furniture is from different parts of the United States. It is one big conglomerate of a lot of different places in one beautiful place. Now, more significantly than anything, what's impressive is that this hotel for so long was, wearing out and dreary, has been redone so gorgeously that it really does deserve the title and the name of being the showplace of the Southwest, the gem of the Southwest, really.
It's funny too. It's like when people get older, their shoulders start to roll forward. You kind of hunch over, and the hotel looked like that before it was being restored.
Had that feeling?
Yeah, it didn't seem. I mean, now you look at it, it looks huge.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're in El Paso anymore.
No, you don't. It's like I said, it's just they brought it back to life.
Exactly, and I have heard some horror stories of how it was before, and I mean, you walk through it now, and it doesn't even feel like you're in El Paso. It's phenomenal.
There also is a list of names up on a wall in the mezzanine. Andrew, find that list of names on a wall, and it's there it is, that one. And talk about some of the people. This is on the mezzanine?
Yes, so this is on the mezzanine. This is on the second floor. As you go up the staircase, it'll be on the left, across from the elevator landings. So the wall itself consists of names that span well over a century, and there are names on there that you would not think would have ever come through El Paso. Some of those being Julia Child, Amelia Earhart, Eva Gabor, ZZ Top, Pink Floyd. I mean, the names range.
Yeah.
Rock stars, movie stars, bandits, revolutionaries, presidents. This really is a precipice of history, and it is ours to discover. That's the best part.
You think Pancho Villa ever stayed there?
To be frank with you, I know he was at the hotel very, very much. He was there often. To my understanding, and this is from work that I have dug up from Mexican historians in Ciudad Juarez and Chihuahua, he allegedly never actually stayed at the hotel, but was frequenting the hotel often. He would always stay, however, at the Linden, which is now across from the public library.
Oh,
yes.
right,
His brother
yeah.
had his wedding there, actually.
Hipolito?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hipolito. That's right.
Bernie
Yes.
Sargent chiming in there.
That's right.
And the history just goes on and on about that hotel. What else can we say? On the mezzanine, you now have the ballrooms are still there?
Correct. So the big master ballroom that fits over 500 people that I had my prom in, I'm sure a lot of people in this city are connected there. Their proms, their formals, their weddings, military ball for decades was held there. It has been redone gorgeously. I mean, you walk in there and it sparkles with elegance. It's phenomenal.
I had my prom there, yeah.
Andrew.
Yes.
J.
Yeah, a lot of us did.
I remember I had a reunion. One of my high school reunions was actually in the ballroom on the top floor.
Oh,
back in the
very
day
nice.
before they renovated it. You want to switch to the top floor for a minute?
Yes. So the 10th floor is probably one of, if not the most historic floor, and by reputation. So the 10th floor is now the spa, yoga center, gym, and our pre-World War I ballroom, which is now called El Mirador.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful redone bar.
Is that where the
Gorgeous-
swimming pool is?
Correct. Yes. So the swimming pool is right behind the Mirador, but you access it there through the doors. And what for so long was closed off to the public, which is the Mirador and the terraces, are now open again.
Yeah.
So this is a beautiful perspective of downtown and the surrounding area of downtown El Paso that the city had no idea was, accessible.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see these different perspectives of downtown. You can see El Paso Street winding right down into Avenida Juarez. You can see the cathedral. You can see Juan Gabriel's face on the mural from across the river. It really is a one in a million view.
Well, and the thing is also the history just behind those terraces with the Mexican Revolution, where people used to go and they'd serve them meals and snacks and things, and they would watch the fighting going on in Juarez.
And we have a shot of that up now of people up on the top there looking
Correct.
at the battles in Juarez.
Correct. So this is a postcard, from my understanding, between 1914 and 19 of reporters from the East Coast coming in, and you can see a gentleman sitting on a chair on top of a table, people trying to get over as much as they can scan the balustrade to see what's happening with binoculars and things like that. At one point, they were served drinks, lemonade and whiskey. And if you wanted to pay a quarter, you got a drink and got to watch a revolution happen in front of you, basically.
Anybody get shot up there, Bernie? Do you remember?
Nobody up there got wounded, but there are some pockmarks on the side of the building that supposedly came from errant shells that were fired.
Yes.
Well, talk about the battles and wars for a moment. These guys were watching from the top of that hotel because it was huge. Can you imagine the noise of thousands and thousands of 50 caliber whatever guns firing and
the cannons firing?
Yeah,
just the whole mess that was going on over there.
That whole era.
As Madero slept.
Yeah. We're talking about 1911, basically 1910, 1911.
Yeah, after the revolution begins in 1910, it takes a little time for all of that movement to make its way up to Ciudad Juarez. Come 1911, right at that midway point of the building of the hotel, the Battle of Juarez happens, and so begins the northern part of the history of the revolution. So it's phenomenal. South El Paso, what a lot of people don't realize, was still, it was an intermingling mix of citizens that were just coming over. So it would have been perfectly normal at one point in time to walk into our hotel or down the street on Paisano and El Paso, the old Roma Hotel, and see spies, revolutionaries, army soldiers, infantrymen. It was a very, very... It was a boiling point in El Paso at that time. There was movement everywhere.
Can you imagine being here then? It must have been an amazing.
Oh, yeah. It would be cool to carry the books. Harry Fischler's.
Von Feilich.
Harry, you're going to shoot me next time. Von Fischler. I always have problems saying that.
Von Feilich.
Feilich. Thank you. Feilich. But it would be great to carry those books to the hotel because it does portray to that time period with the Mexican Revolution and all the intrigue that had to go on in that hotel.
Exactly. And being the main focal point hotel of anyone who was visiting El Paso at the time, there's a lot to be said. There are stories that those hallways and walls will never tell anyone, but they exist, and that's the best part.
Oh, a follow-up to the bullet holes of the hotel. Samuel Kilburn Dolan, he's the author. He was saying the bullet struck the hotel during a battle between the Border Patrol and the liquor smugglers in the late 1920s.
Oh, the revolution kind of like turned into a classier with cars and ties and guns, but they were smuggling booze.
A lot of rum running, yes.
Yeah.
That actually happens, I believe, if not late 20s, I've read 1935. And some of those same bullets that have popped the facade of the building actually went through the 8th floor. No one was hit, but that record in history is there that the bullets went through the 8th floor.
Wow. Doing a matrix in the hotel.
Yeah.
All I wanted was a shower.
Yeah, what do you get? Glass shower, glass.
Just don't snore. Yeah.
Oh God.
But it really is incredible. And just to point out on the terraces themselves, since they were closed off for so long, and the building is on the Register of Historic Places nationally, everything is the exact same except the floor out there and the furniture. The balustrades are original. The lanterns are original. If you want a real view of how El Paso has progressed historically, there is the place to see it.
Also, KTSM radio started up there.
That's right. They were broadcast up there from the 30s until I believe this other building right across from the Holocaust Museum was built. That's right.
On Oregon Street?
That's right.
I'm not sure how long that lasted, but I think maybe they were someplace else in between.
It would have been quite a while, though, because they needed the height anyway on the antennas, too.
Yes, those Weiler days.
Not really. AM doesn't need the height. AM needs a ground plane. So I'm not sure
back then,
how that worked. But anyway, so it progressed. That was
a question that you might answer. If somebody wants to go to the 10th floor, it's not open all the time to the public. So when could they go and maybe participate in an adult beverage and go out onto the terrace?
Correct. So the pool is not accessible all the time except if you have a key. However, the Mirador is open, I believe, from Wednesday through Saturday. I'm giving you my best bet, so you can definitely get up there and view the inside of the building and access the terraces Wednesday through Saturday from 5 and on. So from 5 p.m. is when those doors open, and I strongly recommend the community to go take a look because it is gorgeous.
We're talking about the Hotel Paso Del Norte. What's the actual address?
One of the 3 addresses, but the main address is 10 Henry Trost.
Okay, and that's that little street that
Correct. Yeah.
It used to be San Francisco Street.
Used to
That's
Sheldon.
Right. It
Used to
runs-
be Sheldon Court and then San
runs
Francisco.
between there and the convention
My-
center. Or the
No.
And if they do go on a Friday or Saturday night, you best get there at 5 because anytime after 6:30, it is packed.
Yes, it is lively up there.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Often.
All right, talking about a hotel in downtown and the surrounding areas here. We'll get back in a couple of minutes here and talk about more things. Well, you got something going on there, Melissa? Anything?
Oh, I'm just kind of going back and forth with a few people online.
Oh.
Let's see. It's just some neat stuff. People are just really sharing their information about one. She said her remembers her wedding there because that staircase is amazing.
That
to have
staircase
weddings.
is synonymous.
We've had our
It's-
pictures taken.
A lot of
It's kinda
personal
just-
memories.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Taking a break on the El Paso History Radio Show. We'll see you in a minute.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Hey El Paso, Ivan Ochoa, General Manager from Sunland Park, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. I love the holidays. It's a time to be thankful for life and all its blessings. I'm thankful for you, our customers, and your families. As a gesture of gratitude, we're offering 0%, zero down on select new vehicles and no payments till February 2022.
The Black Friday sales event starts now at Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. For a limited time, get 0 APR for 84 months, 0 down, and make no payments till February 2022. Upside down in your trade, we want it. Even if you owe up to $10,000 more than your car is worth. Plus, save thousands at the all-new Sunland Park Dodge Certified Pre-Owned Super Center on every vehicle in stock, with more arriving daily. All military personnel and all first responders receive an additional discount. Thank you for your service. Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, where buying a car is fun. At I-10 at Sunland Park Drive or online at sunlandparkdodge.com. Estamos en tu esquina El Paso Strong. Includes factory rebate and dealer discount plus T10 out. 0 APR is 11.90 per thousand finance. On select vehicles with approved credit. Offers not combined.
I love the holidays, but I don't love being roommates with my siblings again. That's why I skip all the screaming matches and stay at Red Roof, so I can truly celebrate and relax in my own comfortable, clean, affordable room. Pets stay free at Red Roof, so I can bring Fido and decompress after a long day of small talk with the family without breaking the bank. And this season, you can get up to 20% off. Book your own space at redroof.com.
During the season of giving, you might give away more than you want.
Sweater for Mom, video game for Jake, and my credit card for someone named Gina?
More online activity can mean more exposed personal info, but LifeLock by Norton has identity theft protection all wrapped up. And if you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com today.
The weather is chilly, but it's not officially fall until you button up a soft and cozy flannel from Untuck It. They're perfect for keeping warm and in style this season. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so you'll look sharp and stay comfortable all day long. The wrinkle-free and performance shirts are great for work and the weekend. Just layer a super soft sweater on top for more dressed-up occasions. So update your closet this fall at untuckit.com or at 80-plus stores. Use code COZY for 20% off your first order. Untuck It shirts, designed to be worn untucked.
Okay, let's settle down. Since today is career day, stand up and tell the class what you want to be when you grow up.
I want to be a pilot, soccer player, fireman, a judge.
Kids dream big. As a parent, you can protect those dreams by keeping your kids healthy well into adulthood. If your son or daughter is 11 or 12 years old, the American Cancer Society recommends giving them the HPV vaccine to help protect them from 6 types of HPV cancers later in life. To learn more, visit cancer.org/dreambig.
El Paso's News Radio, 690 KTSM.
And now let's turn back the pages of time and return to the El Paso History Show. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, 6761 Donovan Drive. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. Here again, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
Just letting you know, we're going to take the day off next week, but there will be a radio show here. We're going to repeat the Leon Metz tribute from a year ago. And people can't get enough of Leon sometimes, so we're going to bring that one back on November 27th. On December 4th, we have holiday gift ideas from El Paso artists and authors. We'll have 3 authors in the studio, but we're also going to talk to some people on the phone about other holiday gifts that are around El Paso. And it'll be an interesting group of discussions on what's going on out there that you can buy and give away about El Paso.
Well, we're always talking about history and with kids in school, and they're getting so little of it. I wanted people to know, for the 4th and 7th graders in Texas, what history in your community is worth saving. It's a special program that the Texas Historical Commission has going on right now, and it will end, I made my notes, I lost, November 30th, 2021. And what they're looking for is it's for 4th and 7th grade students in public, private, and home schools in West Texas. And they want somebody to all the details you can get online. But it's to write a story about something very important in the community. And the kid could win up to $1,000 in gift cards and such. So they've got some cash prizes behind it, but it's a great way for kids to learn their history. So you can go to Texas History. Oh, oops. They've got it all over the place in different places. Go to the Texas Land Commissioner office and talk to them about it, or go on their website.
Well, it would be great if we had a lot of history in the schools and stuff, but it's really not that much. I know there's some going in. That's been my hope and dream. I'm not sure it's ever going to happen, to have our kids taught the history that came through here and their own heritage.
Yeah.
Because it's an amazing list of things gone on. Today, we're talking about the Hotel Paso Del Norte and the surrounding area and what's gone on there. But David Varela, you're the concierge there, and that's why we asked you to come in and talk about the things there. What about El Paso history that intrigued you? And you said you were from here and you were born here.
Correct.
But you left and went to Arizona for a while.
Yes.
Did that awaken you when you came back to take a look? Oh, you said you went to NMSU.
Correct. So my family and I lived in Arizona for a while until 2003, almost 2004. And myself, like a lot of people, had to build up the appreciation that I gained for El Paso after going to New Mexico State and, seeing the perspective of not only people close to us, but from far away, of how people really think of this city, is when I started to think, this can't be it. There has to be more here. There has to be something as to why these missions are here. This river has to have a story. Right across the way, we have one of the biggest cities in Mexico. That has to mean something. So through my perspective, I started gaining a real love because, what the rest of Texas and some of the other parts of America take credit for have happened here. Things have happened in El Paso that have changed not only Texas and Chihuahuan history and history in Ciudad Juarez and El Paso, Texas, but the country, the world. I mean, a lot of things have happened here.
So where'd you go to find out what you needed to know?
To be honest with you, I have had a lot of wonderful masters of history that have taught me everything that I know. Bernie Sargent being one of them. Melissa Arras, I have met her. Fred Morales, Leon Metz, David Dorado Romo. A lot of my masters of history are who have given me this now. And a lot of things I have actually learned and read up on my own as well. But, I could not have done one without any of these people. And it's fantastic.
You can also take a look at the El Paso History TV page on YouTube.
Well, that's true. And I'll tell you, this show and the videos that I have seen on YouTube have also attributed very much to the knowledge that I have today.
Yeah, we're starting to archive the shows now on YouTube. So if you're going to look for recent archives within like the last year or so, that's where you're going to find them.
Mm-hmm.
And we had them on ephistory.com, but I pretty much quit putting those up there because they're now on YouTube.
Right.
And so if you want to hear some of the old radio shows, they are all still around as well. So where do you want to go from here? Bernie, you got some thoughts?
Well, you'd asked a question in the first hour about people around the state learning more about us. This next issue of Heritage Texas, or Texas Heritage, that's published by the Texas Historical Foundation, is going to feature Trost and Trost. And Margaret Smith and Max Grossman wrote really nice articles about their history. And they've got some beautiful pictures of some of the buildings that the Trost and Trost organization constructed. And the longer I'm part of that organization, the more people say, I didn't know that about El Paso. And so they've been publishing some short stories that I've been writing, and it's caught a lot of interest. We go to the meetings, which every quarter are somewhere around the state, and they'll be asking questions about what's going on here, what's happening, and they're very excited about the new Segundo Barrio Historic District. I thought that was just a great coup for us to pull.
A lot going on there. It really is.
Oh, it really is. Yeah.
And it's glad to see the word is sometimes getting out there. It's just too bad it doesn't sink into the locals here.
We need more cheerleaders.
Well, we really do, and we're doing the best we can here. All right, taking a break on the El Paso History Radio Show. We shall be back in a minute.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina serves the old Griggs Mexican food recipes in a new location at 6761 Doniphan Drive. Enjoy great New Mexican food with cold beer and the one and only margarita from the cantina. The managers and cooks from the original Griggs restaurant serve tacos, combination plates, and sopapillas. Get the best Mexican food in the valley at Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina, 6761 Doniphan, near Loop 375. Call 877-2152.
Sometimes love can be deadly. The Crazy in Love podcast digs into real-life stories of relationships that took a gruesome turn. Each week, explore a new case about murder in the name of love.
She was obsessed. She was a stalker. She wouldn't take no for an answer.
Overkill is an outward manifestation, the highest level of anger a human being can actually achieve.
Listen to Crazy in Love on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
From MSNBC Films comes the story of visionary French artist J.R.
It's not only about the art, it's about the people. Art can go places, beyond laws, beyond rules, beyond borders. It's something that we the people own.
From Oscar-winning producers Brian Grazer and Ron Howard, the world television premiere of Paper and Glue. Friday, December 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC and in select theaters now.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID, but one thing is for sure. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The weather is chilly, but it's not officially fall until you button up a soft and cozy flannel from Untuckit. They're perfect for keeping warm and in style this season. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so you'll look sharp and stay comfortable all day long. The wrinkle-free and performance shirts are great for work and the weekend. Just layer a super soft sweater on top for more dressed up occasions. So update your closet this fall at untuckit.com or at 80 plus stores. Use code COZY for 20% off your first order. Untuckit shirts designed to be worn untucked.
News Radio 690 KTSM.
And now let's turn back the pages of time and return to the El Paso History Show. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, 6761 Donovan Drive. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. Here again, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
All right, this week, go to El Paso Inc. and find the latest in El Paso business news.
Why a group of New Mexico investors recently toured UTEP for a glimpse into its cancer research.
Also in the ink, a federal grant has nudged the city closer to getting a deck park that would span Interstate 10 in downtown.
The B section is your guide to this winter's fun events, including the Sun Bowl Parade.
El Paso's business journal, El Paso Inc., is available for home or business delivery.
To receive El Paso Inc., order it online at elpasoinc.com.
And don't forget ABC 7 Extra Sunday nights at 10:30 on ABC 7. Interesting group of announcements there coming in the ink. And it's interesting, the ink is continuing to trudge along here quite well. And the El Paso Times seems to be moving to Juarez. I mean, who knows where that's going here. Also, David Varela is here. He's the concierge at the Hotel Paso Del Norte. Bernie Sargent commenting on the history as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And David, you said you give tours of the building.
I do.
Hotel.
So I do base tours when I'm, working or even sometimes off of work of the hotel, of the surrounding area. And I also, to be completely frank, I give regional tours because there's so much that El Paso has to offer that is not only downtown, but in the upper valley, the lower valley. Every side of the city has something to see.
Who do you give these tours to?
Well, initially, years ago, it started with my old hotel guests. And, slowly they began saying, well, why don't you do this? Make this a business, promote this. And I never did. I never charged for it either. I sometimes still don't, frankly. I never want to charge someone for learning. And that's the most beautiful part to me. Now, eventually it turned into groups of, visitors and then flight attendants and businessmen sometimes would ask me. So small amounts of people that have slowly become to, come to see El Paso for what it is. And now it's progressed into class groups and, personal friends of mine that had no idea of things. And even a lot of guests at the hotel that request, a tour of the hotel. And I give them a little bit of extra history up to Las Cruces and the surrounding areas, and they're just enthralled with it.
So how do we get this out better? I always talk about, we need to teach our history to the kids.
I agree. So, and you mentioned it. I come to you as a very beautiful historic hotel concierge, but more so I come to you as someone who has found what this city really has to offer, who wants to tell everyone who has flown out of El Paso and left it, come home. See your city now for what it is, because there is so much that has been ignored and gilded and pushed away for so long that it is now time to recognize that this is the mother city of Texas, and what we have is so unique. And it's because we have been so far away from the east cities of Texas, from the western coast cities of the United States, that El Paso has remained what it is. We don't handshake here. We hug and kiss. You can tell who's from here. The language that we speak has been singularly created because of our far isolation from the rest of the country. It's what makes us us. And when I say El Paso, I mean Ciudad Juarez. I mean everything as far as Tornillo to as far up as Doña Ana. It's all the Rio Grande Valley, and it is ours. And we must protect it and put it out there for the better.
How do we bottle that, what you just said, the last minute and a half? How do we put that into the brains of everybody you can find?
Well, one, I'll tell you this because I get a lot of guests who ask me the most frequently asked question for not only our hotel, but I promise you any other person who works in the business industry who encounters travelers, is it safe? Yeah. That is the number one thing. And I am here to tell you now, If you feel safe walking in downtown Chicago, Los Angeles, or New York at 1 p.m., you're going to be fine at 3 in the morning on El Paso Street.
Heck, you can even say that now for New York and Chicago at 1 p.m. in the daytime.
I'm not sure I want to go to any of those places.
To be frank,
I'd rather be here, I think.
Right, exactly. And again, something that's always constantly ignored and overlooked. We're an incredibly safe city, an incredibly tight-knit community. And in the last few years, fortunately, that has just become stronger. And now it's younger people like myself and like other people who are even younger than me, putting El Paso forth as the city that it should be, because the history that we have here alone could rival any other city in the United States.
Well, let me ask, what is your age?
29.
29. Oh, okay. You've seen a lot of stuff in your 29 years.
Being here, yes. I met downtown when it was dark and dreary, boarded and drab. I remember the downtown my dad used to talk about in the 70s with Woolworths and the Popular and theaters.
People everywhere.
Everywhere.
I remember that.
Yeah, everywhere. Even in Ciudad Juarez. It was just a constant intermingling and webbing of people and movement. And at some point in between the 80s, NAFTA, and 9/11, that all kind of slumped in, and we allowed our downtown, which is so glorious and so beautiful, behind facades and behind bad business, to decay and to deteriorate.
Well, wasn't it like the shopping centers and the exterior part of the city sort of like pulled all the businesses that way?
Exactly.
The Popular went out there, the White House went out to Bassett
Exactly. So
Center.
We're seeing El Paso now at a point where there's so much growth economically, so much land growth, and now we're finally focusing on the heart of the city, the real artery of the city, which is our hotel, other hotels, the downtown area in general, because there's so many beautiful things that we have yet to discover about our own city, that it deserves the title that it has as Mother City of Texas, and we deserve to know it. And we'd also, more than anything, as someone who's from El Paso and has, I went to Parkland High School, I can tell you the idea that people have from different sides of the city. This city needs to learn more to love itself.
How do we do that?
By educating people, by putting forth, stories of people who have not been put out there yet.
We're doing the best we can.
I think they need to have a city historian. I don't care who it is. I mean, just somebody that gets out there, and that's their specific goal, is to educate. If you educate through there, you're going to bring a lot more people back or living into the area.
If you had too much money, it'd be easy to spend it on getting history clubs and middle schools and all that.
Well, the city should be putting some money into that, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it takes private investment. I'm not arguing that point, but the city should have something officially behind it.
Right. And I'll tell you, and I'm sure you can attest, no one who comes to El Paso initially, off the top of their head, like Boston, you think green, educated people, beautiful landscapes. You think of busy cities in California, beautiful scenery in Seattle. People think of El Paso, they don't think of education. They don't think of beautiful architecture or profound history.
Yeah.
They just see and think what they have heard or believe.
We have one ambassador for history sitting right here, Bernie Sargent.
That's right.
And you're doing the best you can. And I hope we've managed to give you some opportunities to get out there. I think your ABC7 exposure on the newscast was pretty good.
Yeah, that had a lot to do with what's going on. And I thank you for the compliment earlier in the program too. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's something that we've only lived here, 33, 34 years.
Yeah.
And we knew right away, and a little older than you when we moved here, and a lot older than you now. And God knows. But yeah, I did meet Dallas Stoudemire. But it's just we just saw an opportunity, and I was frustrated, like you say you were, that not enough people were talking about it. And if it wasn't for Jack coming back from Washington D.C., a lot of this today would not have happened, because he really, he embraced what we were trying to accomplish with Keystone, and it just metamorphosed in all things history and heritage. And, one of my frustrations, and I've been vocal about this, and I know certain people don't like it, but when I was driving down I-10 heading eastbound, and I saw the sign Art District, I went, "What the hell happened to the heritage and culture? We're more than art." And people.
Well, it takes a city management to want to do that, a county management, and the county seems to be a little more open to promoting history. But why in the world can't we talk about the history in our city? And think of the heritage tourism dollars they could reap.
It's the most profitable of all of the.
It's the cheapest.
Yeah.
And why can't we do that?
Well, I give the people credit for with the art that they're doing, but we need to expand beyond just the art. We had a few years ago had the Chinese Minister of Art, number 3 in the Chinese Communist Party. I'm not touting that, but very influential in mainland China. And he was in town. He wanted to see Old West.
Yeah.
And he was really disappointed. So Adair Margot contacted us. We put on a little show for him. He was thrilled to death.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember the guy. I think I actually met him. He was at someone's house where we were. But the whole idea of the history is amazing here. Well, we're getting off our original topic of the Hotel Paso del Norte, but that kind of started the whole conversation going because that's at the kingpin of a building in downtown. It's an icon all by itself. It's been refurbished dramatically, and David Varela is the concierge there. And what is your take on some of this stuff?
Well, to be honest, I saw downtown at one point and see it now, and it is just incredible. I'll never forget. I just maybe a week ago gave a tour of the hotel to a group of 5 ladies from Houston. Had never been here, had never heard of our hotel. They left elated. I mean, completely mind blown that there was this much history in one building, that there was this much to do and know and see in one region.
Oh, yeah.
They did not believe me when I said, drive an hour and a half north, you'll be in the forest. Drive a couple hours past that or into Texas, you'll have hot springs. You want to see sand dunes, we have it. You want to see lakes, we have it. We have it all. It's just, we are not Phoenix, we're not San Antonio, we're not Chicago. We will not give you our experiences on a silver platter. You must roll your sleeves up and explore our city as it should be.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
But it's
true.
too bad we can't figure all that out, because that would be such a great thing to have heritage tourism come and go because of what this is. And so how many cars come through on I-10, millions and millions that don't stop.
That group of people, that generational group, if you will, that says, I've passed through here but never stopped. And that is now changing, and that's the most exciting thing.
And the interesting thing is when you do talk to them, they either stop going west in Deming, or they go to Van Horn and spend the night rather than El Paso, because they have that concern about the city not being safe.
It's amazingly wrong information in some respects.
Exactly.
I want to point out something. One of our listeners, William Henry Mee, who's up in Santa Fe, he was saying they're having the same problem there in Santa Fe. They're pushing the historical tourism. They're spending more time on the ecotourism, which is the hiking and biking and skiing and all that stuff. So he says, a lot of cities are going to same
places need to be
problem.
known for their history, and it's just too bad. All right, we'll talk about some of that a little further. Shall we take a break here at this point here in the El Paso Vista Radio Show? Do that, Andrew Polk. Hit the button. We'll be back in a minute.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Wendy's knows a better breakfast starts with a better biscuit. That's why you can get a hot and buttery Wendy's breakfast biscuit with bacon or sausage, fresh cracked egg, and cheese for just $1. Get your Wendy's Buck Biscuit sandwich today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hey, El Paso, Ivan Ochoa, General Manager from Sunland Park, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. I love the holidays. It's a time to be thankful for life and all its blessings. I'm thankful for you, our customers, and your families. As a gesture of gratitude, we're offering 0%, zero down on select new vehicles and no payments till February 2022.
The Black Friday sales event starts now at Sunland Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. For a limited time, get 0 APR for 84 months, 0 down, and make no payments till until February 2022. Upside down in your trade, we want it, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than your car is worth. Plus, save thousands at the all-new Sun Park Dodge Certified Pre-Owned Super Center on every vehicle in stock, with more arriving daily. All military personnel and all first responders receive an additional discount. Thank you for your service. Sun Park Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, or buy the car is fun at I-10 and Sun Park Drive or online at sunparkdodge.com. Estamos en tu esquina El Paso Strong. Includes factory rebate and dealer discount plus TTL. 0 APRs, $11.90 per thousand finance. On select vehicles with approved credit. Offers not combined.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday shoppers wherever they go. Use iHeart Ad Builder to create an affordable custom radio ad right on your phone. Just click, listen, approve, then hear it on the radio. Create your customized ad today at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k or IRA? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts agree the 401k has been a dismal failure, and even the man who invented it now says it's a monster that should be destroyed. 401ks and IRAs have major dangers, including fees that gobble up 50% of your retirement savings over time. The government controls your money and changes the rules anytime they want, and it gets worse. History confirms we're past due for a major market crash that could wipe out 50% of your savings again. Now, a free report from Bank on Yourself reveals where the inventor of the 401k puts his money. You're 100% protected from crashes. There are no fee surprises. And you control your money, not the government. Plus, your withdrawals are tax-free, which protects your savings from being devoured by taxes that can only get more monstrous. So get your report now at freereportfast.com. That's freereportfast.com. freereportfast.com.
Dive into the stock market with 21-year-old millionaire Hugh Henney and Dan, the deity of dips, on the podcast Pennies Going In Raw. From volume and price targets to reverse splits, accumulation, and more, the serious business of trading strategies and financial freedom has never been more fun.
This is life advice. You need to build up your confidence, and it's the same thing with trading. Your first time, it's going to be a little ugly.
Listen to Pennies Going In Raw on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
News Radio 690 KTSM El Paso.
And now let's turn back the pages of time and return to the El Paso History Show. Brought to you by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585-7777. Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant, 6761 Donovan Drive. By Monterey Asset Management. By Mission Del Rey, 1421 Lee Trevino with El Paso souvenirs and gift shopping. By Keystone Heritage Park on Donovan Drive, 915-584-0563. Here again, El Paso History with Melissa Sargent and Jackson Polk.
One announcement to make sure you know about: the Museum of History has a new exhibit opening tonight at 6 p.m. It's the El Paso Homegrown World War II look. And it has a Bracero program in it. Company E-Men are in there. Tom Lee as a correspondent in World War II. Japanese internment, and both fronts of the Pacific and in the European front. And Bernie, you're part of that foundation.
Yes, sir.
Did I cover it?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. We're good.
Yeah, that starts at 6.
6 o'clock tonight. Take a look at Mount El Paso Museum of History. What do you got?
I'm done.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Life goes on here. Well, we're not quite done here with the.
No. I'm doing my announcements. How's that?
No, you're good.
I'm out of here.
That's good. Did we? I think we covered the few pictures that you gave me, David Varela, concierge at the Paso Del Norte Hotel, and we're talking about all the history around El Paso and how that hotel is kind of like in the center. Give us a summation of the hotel. What's it like?
So the hotel itself, at this point, is not only the oldest but the biggest hotel in West Texas. It, like I said, the history is synonymous. The beauty of it is one in a million. And not only that, we are the only, to my knowledge, hotel in the western part of the state that is designed resort style. So if you need, a spa, if you need a luxury item of jewelry, if you need something that is, absolutely tedious to get, we can get it to you. Manicure, pedicure, haircuts, fine food, coffee,
all the
flowers.
good stuff.
Oh, and clothing. There's the one clothing
clothing
store that Bernie has to drag me away every time I go by there.
Yes. So of our many outlets, we've already talked about the Dome and 1700 Degrees. We have Blackjack Cigar Lounge right next to the Dome, opposite the way of 1700, adjacent from Dulce, which is our coffee shop, and Blackjack Cigar and Whiskey Lounge is phenomenal.
Cool. Yeah,
the whole hotel is a treat for the senses. Really, you walk in, you smell the tobacco and wood and leather. You walk into Dana Lane, which is our Western Luke store, and you smell the beautiful leather. You see the beautiful, most gorgeous turquoise you've ever seen in your life. And it's phenomenal. And then up on the 10th floor, we have Desert Spirit Spa, which is the only full service spa in the downtown area. And not only that, we actually offer salt therapy. We have the only salt therapy room in West Texas. Before that, you had to go all the way to Las Vegas to get that.
And if you're on a salt-free diet, don't go.
Exactly. Your sodium will raise. But no, it's absolutely incredible, honestly. Come down and visit us. I will personally give you a tour, and you will leave, ecstatic.
Ask for David Varela. Bernie, your last thoughts?
Well, we're talking about the hotel in itself. We oftentimes in the past have talked about the saloons and how populated they were in the city because of the ne'er-do-wells and everything else that was taking place. To give you an idea of what propagated, Zach and a few people to invest so heavily, is in 1885 there were 4 hotels in El Paso, 11 in 1888, 12 in 1892, 47 in 1900. It just exploded, and they saw a need for a first-class premium hotel.
And a lot of the train traffic came through.
Absolutely, yeah.
So heavily.
Yeah.
And they used to have all kinds of conventions from across Texas that would meet in El Paso.
Yeah.
And they would give them cheap train fare.
Oh, absolutely,
to get here. Well, back in the earlier days, there were not enough hotels. So people were, putting cots in wherever they could find them, in bars and whatever.
Or sleeping on pool tables.
Yeah. And so all that kind of switched off and changed. But the Hotel Paso Del Norte is now a centerpiece of downtown history. And take a look at it and go stay there if you can.
Well, so you're talking about even back when it first opened, they were offering these package deals for train fare and hotel rooms and food and everything to get people into El Paso. There was a promotion to get people to come to El Paso and see it. So it was really interesting.
They did fairly well.
Yeah.
And if they could just do, who knows what they're going to do in the future. But it'd be nice to see El Paso known for its history. That's kind of like where I'll leave it at that.
Yep. I agree.
Yes,
I
and we will be the ones to change that.
Well, we're doing the best we can. We'll
That's
keep doing
right.
it as long as we can.
It's the Ute that has to do that.
That's right. And it'll just continue on. It definitely will. We're the gem in the necklace, I will say.
And our thanks to Andrew J. Polk in the control room there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate what you do there Monday through Friday. Talk El Paso, 4 to 5 p.m. Be there or be square. It's an interesting world we live in. And Andrew is the talk guy in El Paso now, one of the few, if any, that are around. So there you go. Appreciate that. And otherwise, we'll see you all in 2 weeks live. Next week, the Leon Metz
Happy
tribute.
Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Have a great one.
Yes.
And,
Happy 109th birthday, Paso del Norte.
There
we go. Take care, y'all. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
See
See
you
you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the El Paso History Show. We hope you'll join us again next Saturday morning, 10 to noon, and be sure to tell a friend about us. Sponsored by Patrick Tuttle, Coldwell Banker Heritage Real Estate, 915-585